Question 1. A farmer keeps cows, sheep and rabbits on his farm. The animals produce large amounts of manure. The farmer needs manure for 3 processes. To produce biogas in his biogas generator, to spread on his fields where he grows crops, to fertilize a lake causing algae to grow, which he then feeds to his animals. Part A. Which gas does the farmer produce in his biogas generator? Tick 1 box. Okay, so for this one, it's a simple recall question. What gas is produced in a biogas generator? It is methane. So ticking that box scores the 1 mark available for this question. Part B. The manure that the farmer spreads on his fields will decompose. The farmer often adds earthworms to the manure before he adds the manure to the fields. The earthworms break the manure down into smaller pieces. Figure 1 shows the effect of spreading manure on the yield of crops. And we can see figure 1 here. And we can clearly see, can't we, that with the darker bars, the ones where the manure has been treated by earthworm, there's a higher yield of crops for each type of manure. So it's clear the effect of the earthworms there is increasing the yield of the crop. Now, let's look back at the question. Explain the effect on crop yields of treating manure with earthworms. I suppose the key to this question is not just describing what you see in the graph, but actually explaining why it shows that. And the key here is talking about what the actual earthworms do. They break it down into smaller pieces, break the manure down into smaller pieces. Therefore, what's that going to do? Increase the surface area of the manure. That scores as the first mark available. That then means that the manure will decompose faster. Scoring as the second mark. Clearly, the increase in surface area will increase the decomposition rate, and that therefore means that the minerals will be released more quickly from the decomposing manure because that decomposition rate is faster. That therefore scores as the final and third mark. Those 3 points score the 3 marks available for this question. Part C. The algae in the lake grow best if there is a large percentage of nitrogen in the manure. Table 1 shows the percentage of nitrogen in each type of manure. And we can see table 1 on the right there with the type of animal and the percentage of nitrogen in manure. The obvious thing that jumps out from this table is the fact that the rabbit has the highest percent of nitrogen in their manure. Back to part C. Which type of molecule do the algae need nitrogen to produce? Tick 1 box. So this is a factual recall question. It's not actually linked to any of the data we've looked at so far in this question. So they are using nitrogen to produce proteins, as we know that amino acids contain nitrogen. And obviously amino acids are the monomers of proteins. So that tick there in that box scores a 1 mark available for part C. For part D, we're asked to discuss which type of animal manure the farmer should choose for each of the 3 processes. Use the information from figure 1 and table 1 in your answer. Okay, so we need to be looking at both though figure 1 and table 1 when answering this. Okay, so we need to give a use for the cow manure, the sheep manure, and the rabbit manure. Well, as we can see from the graph on the previous question part, the farmer should choose sheep manure as it creates the largest increase in yield. So we can see that from the graph, which was figure 1, at the highest bar. You should add rabbit manure to the lake as it has the most nitrogen. We can see that from the table, so we can see there the percent of nitrogen in the manure is highest for the rabbits, as we said. Therefore, that is going to create the greatest algae production. And finally, that leaves the cow manure. Now, we would use the cow manure in the biogas digester as it has the least nitrogen and produces the smallest increase in yield of the crops. So therefore, it's not the best use in either of those. Therefore, it can go into the biogas digester. Those 3 points score the 3 marks available for this question.